Hello everyone, I'm Kiki and welcome to my channel. A little while ago I did this with just Crayola stuff, Crayola pencils, Crayola markers, and Crayola crayons. Because what other kind of crayons are you gonna get? And I actually ended up liking the line work a lot, so I copied it over to another paper before coloring it in so that I had the line work, because I wanted to try it with my more fancy pencils, just to see the difference. But then I was like, well, why stop with just my more fancy pencils when I could also try it with my inks? But why stop there? I could also try it with my brush pens. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I have multiple versions of the paper here, my line work. My head just fell off. I had thought about trying to combine all of the materials into one picture, but I don't think I'm going to do that just because I haven't worked with the brush pens very often, and I'm still fairly new to inks as well. So I'm going to do them each in their own separate picture. Maybe at one point I will try them all together, but for now you're gonna get 3 of the same picture but in different mediums. So I need to get started because I have 3 line works to fill and the Crayola one took me 2 days to do, so yeah. So I tried to do something a little bit fancier with the editing this time, that way you weren't watching the same picture drawn 3 times over and making this video like 30 minutes wrong? 30 minutes long. So I tried to fancify it. My laptop did not thank me at all for that. So you're welcome. This is the first time I've tried to do an edit this complicated, so bear with me. But I started with the Arteza Real Brush Pens, which are a water-based brush marker. My biggest thing with this is I am not skilled with the medium. I am still learning it. This is only the second time I've ever used it. So all of the mistakes are simply because I didn't know what I was doing. But other than that, I do really like how it turned out. Like, I love both of the Ninetales. They're great. The background's really splotchy because I kind of ended up giving up, and Vulpix just didn't want to work right. After the brush markers, I moved on to my Arteza professional pencils. The reason I wanted to use these was to see the difference in the way it laid compared to the Crayola pencils. And I mean, I've used the Arteza pencils before and they lay down really smooth, and I do really like how it came out. It's a little bit more saturated than it could have been should I have spent more time layering it and building up and making it more vibrant, but I kind of like the desaturated look of it. And finally, the inks that I used, I think this one is probably my favorite out of the 3. It's got vibrancy, but it's also toned down as well. It's not nearly as bright and in your face as the markers, but it's still got more of a vividness than the pencils. It's a nice in between, and I actually managed to get the grass to kind of look like grass, so yay! But yeah, I had fun with these 3. I had hoped to have time to try to put all 3 of them into the same picture and try to merge all the mediums together, but 1, I just didn't have time, and 2, I didn't feel confident enough to do so. As I said earlier, I still don't really know what I'm doing with the brush markers, and I wasn't really sure how well they would work with. Didn't do that, 1 because of time, because I wasn't confident enough, and I wasn't really sure how I would go about doing it either, so that didn't happen. It may happen in the future, just as a personal project off screen. But yes, I will let you finish watching this and see you at the end. Alright, so I'm all finished using my 3 different mediums to recreate my Crayola only challenge, which turned out very good for the fact that it was Crayola and I was using crayon and markers that don't really do anything other than go onto the paper. I like the vibrancy of the water-based markers. I still need to learn slight portion control so that it doesn't bleed as badly as it did. Like, yes. Ninetales turned out really good. They turned out pretty good, but they don't really require a lot of ink, so. And I kind of gave up on the background. Just because of how badly everything was bleeding. With my Arteza pencils, I didn't layer as much as I did like with the Phoenix picture, so it could have been a lot more vibrant, but it's not, just because I was a little crunched for time. But I kind of like the desaturated look, and it's a lot smoother than the Crayola one, and I like it. I don't really have anything bad to say about that one. I wish I had more time to properly layer the pencils though. And then lastly, I have the ink one, which I very much like. My biggest complaint with this one is Vulpix. Something about Vulpix through all of these, the Vulpix did not want to get colored right. Just did not want to get colored right. But other than that, I really like the colors from the inks and just how I got it all to blend together, and I think this one may be my favorite. So then, I'm very happy with the result of the 3 of these. It's upside down. And I hope you enjoyed them too. I'm sorry about my voice and my slight lack of focus on the camera. I am currently trying to get over being sick. But if you enjoyed this, then I hope you will continue to join me on Sundays and Wednesdays. If you really enjoyed it, then I hope you'll click the subscribe button and the like button and join me on my art journey. I hope to see you around.